What's up, everyone? We're here at Midwest Cards. We're here with Ben, our Pokemon expert.
Hi, guys.
In the shop. Today we're going to be reviewing the set list of the upcoming Phantasmal Flames. As many of you may know, the Inferno X set, so the Japanese version, is already out. We already have access to those cards. And some people have translated what those cards are going to be in English. So we're going to take a look at the set. We're going to analyze the playability of some of these cards. We're also going to talk about the finances behind Phantasmal Flames. And then if you stick to the end, we have a little surprise for you. We're going to talk about our biggest sleeper of the set. So a card that we think is going to do better than most people.
Definitely don't want to miss that. Obviously, we've got a Charizard set here. So for the first time since Obsidian Flames, which was the third set of the Scarlet and Violet block, we're returning to a Charizard-focused set. So with Mega Evolution starting a new era, we've got our second set for the Mega Evolution block with Phantasmal Flames. So back to Charizard. Charizard is a big seller. As you know, if it's got Pikachu, if it's got Charizard, it's gonna be big. So as you guys saw with Mega Evolution, that set had two Mega Hyper Rares. With the second set in Phantasmal Flames, we've got just one this time, but man, is it a heater. We've got Mega Charizard EX. This card is absolutely gorgeous. It's all gold, and unlike hyper rares in previous sets, these guys do have distinct art from their alternate counterparts.
And just like any Charizard, right, usually goes crazy, but to see a gold one, it's just a different level. And we could take that into the SAR, right, for the Japanese set, but what will be the SIR for the English set, which I also think is absolutely gorgeous. I opened some Inferno X myself, hoping to get one of these. We get the whole evolution line in one card. And then, of course, we have the Mega Charizard up at the top in the blue fire.
This card as a headliner just looks to me like such a better version of what they did back in Obsidian Flames. And I really like that set too. So seeing a sort of similar type of small set, but done with just such a better chase card just makes me really excited to open these packs. Plus, I think the little Charmander down in the bottom is just super cute. So you get the super intense, awesome Charizard, but you also get the cute little guy as well. So the best of both worlds with this card.
100%. And here I'll take the opportunity to give a shout out to our trainers. We have a Dawn SAR and SR, which for the English set should be an SIR as well as a ultra rare, so what everyone calls the full arts. The Dawn, which has an interesting playability here. It says search your deck for a basic Pokemon, a stage 1 evolution, and a stage 2 evolution, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So I guess maybe we can bridge here into the playability of these cards. Clearly a card that is trying to showcase the Charizard.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got 6 new Mega Evolution Pokemon in this set, and one of the big concerns that people have had as the Mega Evolutions have been revealed is one, that it takes a huge cost to get them onto the board. If they get knocked out, you're gonna lose 3 prize cards, which can make them devastating cards because you can balance them to be super powerful. But it also means that if you can't keep one around and it gets knocked out, you're gonna be super punished. The other concern that people have had is probably solved by Dawn to some extent, which is that you do have to evolve most of these all the way up to stage 2 before you can use them. So you're usually gonna have to find a way to shortcut that if you wanna be able to play these at the same speed that people are able to get out. Goldengo being a 1 evolution Pokemon is super powerful out of Scarlet and Violet.
Then we also have now the big basics with Mega Kangaskhan and Absol in the same deck, right? That are just in there for free. There is no evolution.
Oh yeah.
So when you need to speed up so fast, you need a Dawn, you need a rare candy to kind of get them up to speed as fast as players who don't need that.
Yeah, I think it's especially interesting some of the ways that decks have shortcutted this, like playing Vitality Forest to play Mega Venusaur. With these Mega Pokemon being such big rewards for committing all the way, it does make sense to try and find shortcuts to get them out early, because man, they can just take over a game.
Yeah, and then one of the Megas, interestingly enough, the Mega Gengar, actually provides the opportunity to kind of slow down that prizing for your opponent. If you have a dark Pokemon and that dark Pokemon is knocked out by damage of an attack from your opponent, from a Pokemon EX specifically from your opponent takes 1 less prize card. So this may be an opportunity, for example, maybe to pair Mega Gengar with Mega Absol. If Absol gets knocked out, it's not 3 cards, it's only 2. That gets to slow down, because the way that they're balancing out the Megas, right, is that your opponent takes 3 prize cards if they knock it out, because they are such beasts. But With that said, Mega Gengar is stage 2, so it would take that extra speed that, you know, a deck that is depending on basic Pokemon simply doesn't have.
Yeah, definitely. And the Mega Gengar's ability especially is super interesting because it does encourage you to be playing your Megas from the bench, which is something that normally you wouldn't be encouraged to do with a big beater. If you've got a super strong Pokemon, you generally want to play it to your active spot so you can deal as much damage as possible. But if it's not in your active spot, your risk of having it knocked out is much lower. And if it incentivizes you to play a slower game, that can make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and it's also a tank, right? 350 HP. You throw a Bravery Charm in there that I know the Mega Absol deck already carries. You're at 400 now. There are not many Pokemon that can deal 400 in one attack.
Right. Yeah, being able to deal 400 damage requires such a specially tuned deck focused on doing that, and that does provide a pretty big advantage for the person playing Mega Gengar. To talk about another Pokemon that's definitely gonna slow down the game a bit and be a bigger defensive force, we've got Empoleon EX. Not only is the ability pretty interesting, reducing the effects that are going to be dealt to your Pokemon, avoiding confusion or poison, or if your Pokemon ends up burned, all of those effects can be super brutal, and depending on what's good in the meta, this could definitely end up being a particularly impactful ability if the right things are powerful. Also, the attack on this guy is pretty interesting, reducing damage that's dealt to it by 60, and already with a base HP of 320, this guy goes right up toe-to-toe with some of these Megas, and it only is going to be a 2-prizer, so it definitely has you considering it when you otherwise might be looking for a Mega for your deck.
And if you can deal the attack, it's 210, so you're dealing 210.
Right.
You're taking 60 less, already sitting at 320. This guy could be a tank.
Okay, so as you all know, the Pokemon market for the last year or so has been absolutely crazy, and honestly, I don't expect this set to be any different. With the new block, historically the first couple sets don't do as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case with the Mega Evolution block. The big indicator that this set is likely going to be extremely expensive, to me, is that Mega Hyper Rare Charizard. Especially since this card is sort of one of the biggest Pokemon there is, I wouldn't be surprised to see this card go for well over $1,000. We're in Moonbreon, Sunbreon type territory. This is definitely gonna be a heater. That by itself has the potential to kind of carry the value of the boxes and the packs here. As long as there's a $1,500+ card that you can open out of a pack, packs have gotta be good.
Oh yeah, I mean, we all know that the chance of getting one of these is going to be really low, but that's what makes them pricey. That's what makes them a chase for everybody. 100% agreed. I mean, this is going to be one of the big cards that we're talking about, especially when we already saw the gold Gardevoir, the gold Lucario do so well in the market. I mean, those are still over $600 as we're talking, and they're not a Charizard.
Yeah, definitely.
The card, right?
Definitely. Charizard certainly is more popular than Gardevoir. You guys can argue about that if you disagree, but I think in general that's pretty common knowledge. And it's not just that we've got the Mega Hyper Rare Charizard. They spoiled us and still gave us the SIR version. Looking at the SAR version in Japanese, assuming it looks just as good as it does with the Japanese characters, I expect that this card is going to be almost $1,000 on its own. And that's the second best card in the set.
Yeah.
So having two cards that are that expensive, I think we're just set up for an incredible box opening experience. Hunting these chase cards is going to make opening these boxes epic.
I agree 100%. And if you're not somebody who likes to rip, if you're somebody who likes to hold on to some product, where do you see this product going compared to other products in the past?
Yeah, so I definitely think that because the depth of this set isn't quite as high as sets like Mega Evolution or Destined Rivals, there's a chance that this sort of follows more of a Prismatic Evolutions type price trend. So we'll see this set, I think, be really expensive at first and kind of level out once people get comfortable with realizing that the pull rates on these massive cards are pretty low. But the long-term value is likely to be pretty successful. And I know comparing that to Prismatic Evolutions, we just still have to see. So wait and see on that one. That's my prediction there as well for what it's worth. If you look back historically at like what has now become sort of a trend, Pokemon tends to do a Charizard set with each major block. And I think this set feels more to me like what we got with Flashfire back from XY, which is like $150 a pack now at time of filming, more than it feels like a Burning Shadows, for example. Definitely a less well-received Charizard set. I think the art is better. I think there's better depth. I think Megas historically do fantastic numbers. Not to mention having a gold Charizard is a truly unique chase. And I think 5-10 years from now, people will look back at this set and be like, man, I want that gold Charizard. And they'll rip it and pay a premium for it because of that.
All right, we made it to the end of the video, and now we're gonna give you some sleeper cards. What is your criteria for this? Is just cards that you love, what they look, or cards that you think will do financially better than most people are expecting?
I'd say I tend to make those things more equal than others. I tend to believe that stuff that is well-liked is more likely to do well long-term, even if the price isn't necessarily there to back up my reasoning right now. Just because something's expensive now or isn't doesn't necessarily equate to its value in the future. And it does help to give you an idea of what you might expect, but I don't necessarily think that this card needs to be expensive out of the gate for it to be awesome down the line. With that, my choice is definitely gonna have to be this Piplup. I think this is like one of my favorite starters of all time. Back when I played Platinum as a kid, Piplup was my starter, so maybe I'm a little biased here, but man, he's just so cute hiding out in that little cave. We've also got the Oricorio, which if you're a fan of Shinji Konda's artwork and cards like the Magneton in the Surging Sparks promo, or the Giratina V out of Lost Origin, this card is just gorgeous and some of his best work.
And then I would say for me, my sleeper is probably the Dugong. I think I'm just really biased towards the first 151 Pokemon. There's such a nostalgia that is attached to those Pokemon for me. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. But then we have this beautiful card. It feels so peaceful to me with the Aurora Borealis in the back. I think it's just one that I would love to have for my PC. You know, maybe it's not one that does really well financially in the future, but it's a sleeper card in the art for me. But that will do for our set list today. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you like this type of content, we are kind of trying new things here at the Midwest Cards YouTube, so make sure you please drop a like, drop some comments. What's your favorite Pokemon? What is your sleeper for the set? What are you most excited to see? A reminder that this set releases November 14th. And if you're local to Columbus, Ohio, or if you're in America, we will have that set as well. So if you're not in Columbus, make sure you check our website, MidwestCards.com. And if you are in Columbus, make sure you come into the shop, say hi to the two of us, say hi to everyone here, and get your Phantasmal Flames.